Good evening, everybody. This is your host, Huge Pop, from the Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast, and it's another Wednesday night of Huge Pop Gets Knocked Out. Thank you, Nick Vick, for being part of the show. Tonight's guest, he's a former, I hope I get this right, semi-pro football player, amateur hockey player, and pro wrestler. He is the founder of 50 Legs. Their mission is to provide amputees with the necessary care and prosthetics that they could not otherwise afford, and to help them live a happier and healthier life. Welcome to the show, Steve Cumberland. How you doing, my friend?
Chamberland.
Chamberlain, dang
I
it.
knew you were gonna butcher that. Everybody knows.
Ah,
Hey, what's up, guys?
how you doing, Steve? Been a long time. How you been, man?
Awesome, bro. How are you?
Good. Are we going to see you up there at Kiss Fest?
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Always a blast.
I've
Yep,
heard all about
always.
you, a lot about you, man, and I'm excited for tonight. Nick and I will bounce some questions off you, so on and
Yeah.
so forth. So we're gonna get started. There will be a section. I'm just gonna warn you. It's Nick's favorite section, actually. It's
Mhm.
called the kids question, because my wife and I live in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, in the Panhandle, and
Yeah.
we run a foster home for run the emergency shelter for foster care. So,
Awesome, man. My buddy lives out in the Panhandle.
all right, cool beans.
Mm.
So, are you like the rest of us on this channel that as a kid growing up you loved wrestling?
Oh God, of course, man. If you didn't, you weren't normal. Well, we grew up. You know what I mean? It was like you wanted to see Andre the Giant, Ultimate Warrior run down, Coco Beware, obviously Hogan, all those guys, Jimmy Hart. Yeah, that's when wrestling was good to watch. You know.
Yeah. So, what were some of your moments, fun moments, memorable moments of people that you watched growing up as a kid?
I think it was like I loved the bad guys. So
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? But my favorite obviously was Hogan when he would do his flexing and we all did in the mirror. Nobody can say they didn't. You know what I mean? Like those are the memories that you don't forget is the old school gimmicks, you know?
Yep.
When they try to do the gimmicks now, they just don't work because it's not, these kids nowadays, they can do a flip and they get hired. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I want to be scared. I want to see somebody 6'5", 6'8", 330 pounds. Looks like they're gonna kill you coming down the street. Not this little kid you pass 50 times in an airport and you see kids running to him like, oh, that? Who's that?
Right. Yeah. So Hogan must pose, I guess. Right there you go.
Yeah,
There's
dude, he's being friends with him is a trip too. So like, there's days I pinch myself when I'm with him and I'm going, oh my God, it's crazy, it's crazy.
Yeah.
The man is like legitly the legend. Like, bro, he could have surgery after surgery, and the doctors say you can't do this, you can't lift, and he's at the gym the next day. I promise you, I've seen it. I've seen him with a brace on, and I go, "What are you doing lifting?" He goes, "Brother, it beats a real job." That was his words to me. It beats a real job, and he's sitting there doing curls after he just got his back surgery. Like it's a week later, nuts.
Yeah, man. I was going to answer that question. I know that he's. I just read on it. He's a big supporter of 50 Legs, and
Yeah, since day one.
yeah, that's pretty cool. And your friendship. It sounds like you have a great friendship with him. And man,
Yeah, him and Nick just did a charity event for us at Hogan's Hangout a couple weeks ago, and then he actually one of my buddy's friends called me and says, "Hey, do you think Hogan would ever give this guy an award? He got Employee of the Year." And they were in Clearwater Beach, so we called Hulk, and he said, "Yeah, of course."
No, so the first time I actually remember meeting Hogan, I think I was 12, maybe 13. I was when he was filming Thunder in Paradise at Disney here. My dad worked out there. He did all the security for the celebrities to come in.
Oh,
He was
that's
also the
awesome.
bodyguard work. So
Yeah.
he got me a chance to meet him, Bam Bam Bigelow. I met Ultimate Warrior. So
And
Macho
Jimmy
Man.
Hart was there, I'm sure.
Yes, that's when I first got the chance to meet him. So it was pretty cool playing football on the beach with the guys back in the
That's
day.
freaking awesome.
well,
Yeah.
Nick, I hopefully with the connections I have with Nick and Knockout Entertainment, CWF down in Florida. Hopefully, one of these days I'll get the chance to meet him and come down to the event where he's at. That's probably a pipe dream of mine. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's dude, he's the legend, man. I remember when I first started the charity. And I was like, hey man, this is what I'm doing. He's like, I'm in. Like, and like that guy he's done so much for the charity and just I mean, when we did that Mecum auction, we got that 1950 Ford, and one of my good friends, Gary Clifford, gave us the truck, and we got on the Mecum auction, and we raised over $580,000 for a night. That truck that was probably worth 25 grand.
Wow.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, and we're doing another one next year. So I mean, we got a lot of good stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
but you just you're blessed. He's a blessing. He's happy. That's all I know. He's a good dude. I mean, I love him to death. I love his new wife. She's awesome. She's actually really cool. Like when you first meet him, you never know. That's my like. But as long as he's happy, I'm. Everybody should be happy.
The best thing I found out most recently, and it's all over the news, obviously, that he found Christ. He was born again.
Yeah, my church. He goes to my church now. He does.
Yes.
Yeah,
So that meant a lot. That's really cool to see that
yeah.
he gave his life to the
But
Lord. So
he's never lost it, bro. It's the
no,
weird thing is that I literally was at his house for 2 years doing work in his remodeling the inside of his little house. I was there for 2 years, and bro, he still ate his vitamins, and everybody jokes, but he literally would read the Bible every night. Like it's
that's
not like he
good.
lost faith.
Yeah.
I think it's more. I want to get in tune with my body more now. I mean, he's
Yeah.
70, I want to get in tune. I want to be right with God. I don't want to be living in sin I want to be married.
Uh,
He just did it. He did it the right way. He's doing it the right
Yeah.
way. That's all.
That's good,
Absolutely.
man. It's real good.
So, can you talk a little bit about your career as a professional wrestler? What people you met, how long it was, what
Yeah.
promotions you were with, and stuff?
Yeah, of
I
course. So when I started wrestling, I was in Malden, Mass. Killer Kowalski's in Malden, Mass, where Triple H went and A Train and all those. I trained with A Train when he got hurt. He was coming back. And then I lost my leg. I was training for a week, and then I lost my leg in a motorcycle accident in 1999. And I was like, oh man, this is over. So I'm laying in the hospital for a month, and I'm like, I'm gonna go back into wrestling, and I gotta find somebody that's gonna give me a leg so I can wrestle. I'm like, there's no one's gonna stop me. So I go back to Kowalski's, and they're like, man, you're doing great, Mike, the trainer down there. And A Train, like, man, there's a company in Florida I heard about, Florida Championship Wrestling, Steve Kern, like
yeah,
one of the best trainers in the world. I mean, he trained Sheamus, all those guys on TV now. They went to WCW. I mean, FCW, Florida Championship
yeah.
Wrestling. So anyways, so I come down to Florida. I always wore sweats. I never wore shorts. So when they see me, I was 6'3", 285 pounds, and I didn't limp. You know what I mean? So they didn't know I had a fake leg. So I went in there and talked to Steve. He's like, all right, well, come train tomorrow. So I trained, and then I told Steve Curran, that's me and X Pac. So I told Steve after, and he's like, man, you got one leg. And then they saw me wrestling. He's like, holy shit, bro. Like, you can't even tell you have a fake leg. So it was like, it was cool. It's like, and then, I trained for a year, and then 2002, WWE, Johnny Laurinaitis calls me and calls Steve Kern and says, hey, man, we want to give this kid a try. He's huge. So I had my tryout at the Florida Sundome. And Steve Kern's like, man, you got your job, bro. They can't believe how big you are, how fast you move. You can do the same stuff as everybody else. And so, anyways, long story short, is I had my tryout at the Florida Sundome. Johnny Laurinaitis calls me the day after. Kern said they're not going to call you for a month. He called me the next day and says, hey, Steve, he goes, man, we loved you up here. Everybody can't believe you got a fake leg. We want to hire you. We want to give you a 3-year contract. You're gonna get this, this, and this, right? So I did. I got this, and then I had a company that made this foot that was going to pay me a ton of money to wear their foot. So it was like my contract would have been $3.3 million
Wow.
for 3 years, but like WWE was only 100 grand a year, so that wasn't much. But the real contract would have been, and then your TV time, you get all that. You know how that works.
Yeah.
So anyways, so I go back into training. I call Steve. I call my friends. I'm all excited. And then boom, Johnny Laurinaitis calls me. He goes, hey, we're gonna use this other kid, Zach Gowen, this other one-legged kid. So I looked this kid up. He's 110 pounds soaking wet. He can do a moonsault. You know what I mean? Didn't look like a wrestler. He looked like a friggin' like 120-pound kid that was a bicyclist or
Yeah.
who should be on a skateboard his life. So anyways, I got that. I got that. I did all that. That was insane. Them guys. Jimmy right there. He was
Yeah.
the hottest trainer in the world, bro. What's crazy is everybody, like everybody's like, what do you think the hottest? I'm like, bro, the hottest thing I've ever done in my life was wrestling, semi-pro football, all the stuff I've ever played, all the practices, nothing, nothing in the world is as tough as that school right there. We used to do this man in the middle with 4 guys on each side, and you'd literally, you'd get murdered, bro. But it was awesome. You just Kern right there. That's the baddest train in the world, bro. That's school of hard knocks right there. And inside that gym is 190 degrees. It's an empty warehouse. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
it's comical, bro. Like, and we had a bunch of good guys in there. Like the Big Show used to go in there when they got hurt. All the guys that used to get hurt used to come back there. Like I wrestled with Dennis Knight was one of my first matches ever. Midian, remember Midian?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was my first match, but he used to shit his pants all the time in the gym, bro. Because there's no bathrooms, you'd have to piss all back in a gallon bucket. You know what I mean? Dude, it was like I seen more people. Like I think I broke 2 fingers training with my fake leg because I used to have a pipe that went on the side. And Kern goes, "Hey, that's a bad gimmick, bro. We got to cover that bitch up." So I put a styrofoam around it. But yeah, and it's crazy. Like all the craziness I went through in my life, and when WWE fired me, bro, that was when I went through my depression. I got a couple DUIs. I just didn't give a shit, bro. I was so depressed. Like losing my leg was nothing. Like WWE taking that from me after training my ass off with one leg, and and then giving that kid Zach a chance, which hey, God bless him, but he didn't look like a wrestler. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got no leg above his leg. I mean, he can't run. I mean, you can't hit the ropes. I mean, what do you do? 50 moonsaults a day at
And
130
I
pounds?
remember watching him, and I know Brock Lesnar beat his
Oh,
ass
destroyed him.
multiple
Yeah,
times. Horrible. And I was like,
yeah,
this kid, it's not even. It got to the point where it wasn't even fun to watch. It's like
yeah,
he's literally taking advantage of. I don't want to say the word disable.
yeah. He's disabled
But
though. Shit, I'm
yeah,
disabled.
yeah. But it just seemed like it wasn't a good image there.
No, and that like Vince is that guy. One of the guys at the prosthetic company I use calls me and saying, "Hey, you remember Zach Allen?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" And he goes, he needs a prosthetic leg. And I'm like, fuck that. Thinking to myself, you know what I mean? I ain't buying
Mm.
that jabroni shit. I ended up getting his leg for him, but
Yeah,
I never got a thank you or anything like that. So I heard he changed from back then. I heard he's a great kid now,
yeah,
and I wish he would have. I wish if he would have, not been like he was back then, they would have had a spot for me for sure. Because I think the gimmick was like he would have kept getting beat up, and then I come in at 6'3", and back then I got the 295. You know what I mean?
yeah.
In great shape. So I think that would have been the punchline or storyline. And then yeah, it just honestly, bro, like and I still get mad. I mean, I can still move. Like
Oh
I
yeah,
could go into wrestling right this minute. You know what I mean? I'm 52. I never made it. I only wrestled for 3 years. You know what I mean? So like my body's still like it was back then, but it's funny. I'll do stuff with Jimmy Hart up, like at uh Toomey Tools thing. I did a run in one time and just little things like
yeah.
that. But
You're in it was a knockout ring. You were there. I was at the
yeah,
show. Yeah, you
yeah. So
came in to
like
beat up that
doing
Arabic guy. I forgot his
yeah, and I
name.
and then I got pissed because he didn't bump. I was like,
Yep,
you're going over now, kid.
exactly.
But
I
that,
remember
but
that.
that's what I'm saying. Like stuff like that. I mean, it's fun. You know what I mean? It is. It's that's a sport. When I was training, we had I don't know if you guys know Jason Buck Quartermain.
Mhm.
Stevie. We had some good kids in there that were like that wrestled for 10, 15 years doing shows around here. I just didn't see the fit in that for me. Honestly, I was like, you know what? I mean, these guys. I know guys still chasing the dream. Which, hey, God bless you, and I hope, man,
Yeah,
it's so much fun being with the boys. It really is. But for me, it was like, hey, listen, you got one leg, you did your best. Now start working for a living, kid.
yeah.
You talk about hanging with the boys, so that leads me to this next question. So, I talk a lot about brotherhood and paying back the dues. Is that something that's important to you as a man in the wrestling business, and now with your 50 legs nonprofit thing? Is that
Oh,
important?
hell yeah. Yeah, bro. That was like, I'm still good friends with everybody that trained me. Like Bucky, you know what I mean? I don't see Steve Kern as much as I wish I did, but I still, I mean, X Pac when he was going through his bad stages in life, he lived with me.
Oh,
You know what I mean? And every day I'd go check on him, make sure he was alive. And that kid right there, I mean, you want to talk about the nicest kid in the world? Xbox probably, I couldn't even tell you what that kid, like, as a man is. Like, everybody that meets him is like, he's so, like, you just want to hug Xbox. You know what I mean? He's just the nicest guy in the world. It is, he's just, I don't know how to explain it, but I got real close to Pac when he stayed me for a year or a year and a half, 2 years maybe. But I can tell you right now, that kid is, he's clean now. He's got his own little thing going on up in LA. He's killing it. His mom always posts on my Facebook, and he'll, like, I'll text him out of the blue, and then 3 days later he'll be like, "What's up, kid?" Like, "I love you. I miss you, Steve. I was just thinking of you." You know what I mean?
nice.
And
Yeah,
then, like,
he's always somebody I always wanted to meet. I heard great things about him
oh,
from the
bro,
grapevine.
you'd fall in love with him. I promise you. Like, he's
Yeah,
so, and he's caring. Like, when he talks to you, he looks at you like he's like, and he wants to know about your life. It's not like he's
yeah,
fake. You know what I mean? He's not doing it to be an asshole. He's doing it because, bro, this is me. I'm X-Pac. Like, hey, brother,
yeah.
like, tell me how your life is. You need anything? Are you good? You know what I mean? Because he really means it. And he's caring.
Absolutely. I'd like to take a second to tell my dad, he's on here. My sister's on here. Dad, I love you. Thank you. I love you, Kim. I thank you for coming out there. Some of my biggest supporters. My mom passed in October,
Oh man, I'm sorry.
and so she's the one that said, "Don't let this dream go." So I'm the one that she pushes me, and but my dad's always on the podcast. So thank you, Dad. I love you. Have a good night, man.
That's
So
awesome. Sorry about your mom. That sucks.
thank you. Before we get into the 50 legs portion, I'm going to do Nick's favorite part of the show. It's called Kids Corner. Kids questions. We eat dinner together. They ask me what Mr. Scott's going to do, and they come up with these questions. So bear with it.
Dude, I'm good. Whatever, man.
Favorite food.
Oh God, steak.
Okay. Nick's favorite question is: does pineapple belong on pizza?
Fuck no.
Oh,
Oh,
dude, yes, thank you.
Excuse my language. Excuse my
Thank you.
No.
You know me
Hell no.
exactly. Hell no.
Favorite book.
The Brinks Job.
Okay. Favorite TV show.
Growing up or now?
Now.
I don't know, man. I like CSI stuff, like Criminal
Yeah.
Minds and stuff like that.
Okay.
I like all that stuff.
Okay. What's your favorite potato chip?
That would be Lay's.
Yes.
Original, just regular, bro. Just regular. Not
Keep
all
it
these
simple.
flavored things, just simple.
Do you have a pet, and what's their name?
My dog, Lucky. Yeah, he's the best. He's a spoiled little shit.
Do you have any hobbies?
Just the gym. I've been hitting the gym again pretty good. So that's pretty much it.
Okay. Here's a new one. What do you do the minute you get out of bed?
Kiss my cross and thank God for taking my leg.
Awesome. And favorite sports team?
No, come on, man. I'm from New England Patriots.
Oh,
We're done.
Ah, shit.
And what's your Mount Rushmore of wrestling?
My favorite thing ever.
No, Mount Rushmore of wrestlers. Who's your Mount?
you're Mount Rushmore.
Your Mount Rushmore?
Hogan, man, of course, Hulkster.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I batched this one this afternoon. Who is the greatest WCW heavyweight champion ever?
Oh, God.
WCW.
Yeah.
Oh God, man. I don't even know, man. I like. Didn't Sting win it? Did Sting win it?
My wife even knows this. She's over here going, everybody knows it's David Arquette.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, dude. He gets this one every time.
There he is.
Every
There he
time.
Oh, God.
David Arquette.
That's awesome. But no, he wasn't. He's
Right.
a monkey.
And that wraps up the Kids Corner. Thank you for those answers. I will let them know because they do ask me in the morning, what do you say?
That's awesome.
So before I love that part. Before we get, I know you just you have this new logo called what is it? GBY?
Yeah, one of my buddies, I can't believe it wasn't trademark. One of my buddies, Rick McIntosh, you can Google it. It's on the internet and
Yeah.
everything. Nobody trademarked. God bless you. He trademarked it.
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't
So
think you
like,
could at the time.
I don't think it's on the trademark, but I mean, I
Yeah,
just say God bless you to everything, bro. Because I really think, that's what's missing in the world today. This world's so
exactly.
crazy with, putting. I didn't get into that stuff, but I mean, hey, listen, we grew up man and female, and that's all I'll say. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
can you can do whatever you want, be who you want. I believe in the Bible. I just do things like I like, but I like everybody. But
yeah.
I choose,
I'm a
black
big
and white,
believer.
nothing
Big believer. You
craziness.
take God. You take God out of everything. Things are.
And
You
that's
got
what
to put Him
happened.
first.
Look what
Got to put Him
happened. Look
first.
what happened to the world now. Everything.
Yeah.
Look, the Bible says everything that's going on right now. Everything going on right now. It's in the Bible.
Yeah.
Read it. You know what I
You've
mean?
seen. You've seen it firsthand at our show that Timmy Tools. And I mean, obviously, I'm not preaching a ceremony up there,
Yeah.
but I'll always give God first for everything we do there at the
Yeah.
company. Always.
He's the best
That-
guy in the world, bro.
exactly.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Does he sponsor your show or anything?
No,
Tim, all the
Yeah.
shows I do for now is at Tim's place.
Right. The wrestling shows, right? He's still doing all
Yeah.
those. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
That.
he's he's a good dude, man. And
Yeah.
you gotta give it up for Jimmy Hart for being there to help him out this
Yeah.
whole
Oh
thing.
yeah. Jimmy's amazing. I just do shows for him now. Now I'm getting more into my fight gear, which is the knockout brand for the MMA, bare knuckle
Yeah.
boxing. I sponsor a lot of fighters now
That's awesome,
in the
bro.
MMA scene. So we're gonna have a fight coming up in the Tampa area on March 16th, man. You're welcome to come out. I'll
Oh
give you the
hell yeah.
information.
Yeah,
Come
let me
join
know.
us.
I'd love to go to that. I love those
Yeah.
fights, man.
I'll give you the information after everything's said and done, and you meet
Yeah,
us
because
out
I
there.
got I mean I got a lot of shit going on right now. Obviously, I'm training for the Boston Marathon, so
Yeah.
yeah,
that's
We'll see you.
that's been it's tough.
awesome, man.
Me and my big mouth. Ah, God.
So, what inspired you to start the nonprofit organization 50 Legs?
Because when I wanted to wrestle back in the day when I lost my leg, nobody would help me get a leg, bro. I probably went to, I think it was like 30 something prosthetic companies, and they all said, I went to these big ones like Hanger, and they're like laughed at me. You got no money? Well, this leg's gonna be $15,000. But now I know the cost of them. I want to go back and punch every one of those prosthetist guys in the face. And the last one I was walking out of this last building in Merrimack. No, where was I? Bedford, Mass. And I was walking out, and I'm like, man, this is it. I'm never gonna walk. This is what I'm dealing with. I'm walking down the stairs with crutches. I'm going to my buddy's Lincoln that he let me use, and I'm crying. I'm going, man, this sucks. I don't want to be like this. I want to walk. The guy comes running out. He goes, hey, call this number right here. We had those big cell phones back then, 99. She goes, call this guy right here. He wants to help you. So I call Next Step it's still Next Step. Peter Cuccia was the guy's name that I talked to. He's like, well, what are you trying to do? I said, listen, I just want to wrestle, bro. I want to wrestle. I want a leg that I can wrestle in. He's like, all right, well, come on up here. Where you at? I said, right here, right down the street on Route 3. He's like, well, I'm up in Bedford, New Hampshire. So I went up there, flew up there, and within, it was like 10 days, I had a leg and I was walking. And then I literally started wrestling 2 weeks later when I got my leg. And the rest is kind of history. I went up there, trained. Peter took care of me for years, bro. For the first year, like he paid me to train. He let me, he blessed me like nobody else would. And then I go, I want to move to Florida. There's this thing. He's like, well, here you go. Here's some money. Go. I went down there, trained. It was, it was the coolest thing, but like when I got fired, that's when I went through my depression, bro. I kept away from everybody. Nobody even knew. I just ran away from the world pretty much because I was so disappointed and thinking it was me, the reason why we got fired. I mean, I get fired. I never got fired. I just didn't get the contract. They sent me the contract. I signed it. I didn't even read the thing, bro. I just read the money side. I signed 30 pages and sent it back to WWE the next day. Next day to back to them. And it was funny because Christian and Edge, I know Christian and was it Lita? They lived in Tampa at the time, and I used to go to that gym over there. So I was at the gym, and they were over there when I was signing. They're like, "Oh, congratulations!" And just it was cool. And then the rest is history. So, and then when I started, and that was all. That was during that, but it was the rest is history. Like I said, it was just not meant for me, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, so you started the 50 legs happen after your let go from WWE, right?
Yeah, I started the charity 13. Well, this is my 14th year. So in 2002, I got hired with WWE, and I started my charity in 2010. So like it was a while after. I was
Yeah.
being wild, just being an idiot. Honestly, for the 8 years, I was just lost. And then I went. One of my good friends, Rick, took me back to church. He took me to Indian Rocks Church, Baptist Church, and I walked in there. And he's like, just come once, man. Just come once. I go, bro, I don't want to freaking go. I don't need this shit. I went in there and I swear to God, I left there and I go, bro, what'd you tell him about me? I thought he was talking to me the whole time.
Yeah.
And I was like, it just caught me. And then I didn't miss, I go to church as much as I can with training right now. It's hard to go on Sundays because I got to walk like 16 miles and 10 miles. And it's
Yeah.
kind of tough to go sit for. I mean, it's only an hour, but I mean, I still should make the time, but I go at 10. So it's like, I'm going to get out of there till 11. Then I don't want to walk after, you know what I mean? I'm just being an idiot making excuses. I just got to suck it up and do it right, you know? But
So
yeah, so that's when I started my charity, bro. I was like, and knowing that what I went through of like not getting the care that I needed because I didn't have the money. And most families don't have that kind of money, and the insurance companies ain't doing it for free. It's crazy because I mean, I raised over $1 million last year and I helped 200 people get prosthetics
wow.
for the last 2 years, so for the last 2 years, I've raised over $1 million, and each year we've helped like 180 and 200 people. Um, and we're over 800 now. I mean, the first couple of years, obviously, you look at me, bro. I'm 6'3", tatted up. I look like I'm gonna put a gun to your head, not be your friend and help you get a leg. So now
No,
it's funny now. Like I tell people, we have a leg to stand on because this is my 14th year. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. I think we're at 96 to 98% give back. You know
wow.
what I mean? Where, like the Wounded Warrior Project one time was at what, 3-4% give back? And like you look at all these charities, bro. The people are making 450 grand a year, 600,000 a year. Come on, man. What do you have a charity for if you're living like that?
Exactly. And see, that's what's the best thing about you hearing your story. And now that we're on here, we're going to stream it afterwards too, be in post. But
Yeah.
let people know, even in your darkest hours, there's a brighter light at the end. And look what you had to go through that part of your life to realize your true calling. That
Yeah.
you're able to help young
Yeah.
ladies, young men and women of all ages to walk again, and that they
Yeah.
do have a hope after a tragedy like that may have happened.
Yeah, and
So
what's crazy, bro? Honestly, it's like, I think about it now and finding the prosthetic company that I use up in Orlando, Florida. I don't go to any other prosthetic company. I go to one. It's in Orlando, Florida. It's called POA, Prosthetics and Orthotics of Orlando.
yeah,
And the guy's name is Stan Patterson. Dude, he's so outstanding and so far ahead of time. And it's not like these big companies and big hospitals, that I see these commercials for kids with prosthetics and I see their prosthetics they're wearing. I want to puke. Like I want to put those on dogs.
yeah,
Like, you know what I mean? When you have a belt to hold the prosthetic on, there's no freaking reason unless you're a total hip dysautic. Like if you have a belt and you're below the knee or you're above the knee or at the knee and you have a belt holding it, you better be a hip dysautic. I see these things with kids wearing a belt. I'm like, what? Like, come on, man. Give these kids a break. And then prosthetic companies saying, oh, your kid can't get a running blade till he's 13 or 10 or 12. I put him on 1 year old, bro.
wow. So
Because
now
Stan
with these
invented, and all it is a piece of Stan puts them on these young kids. They're not even real running blades. The little kids, like 1 year old and 1.5. He puts them in this tail. He invented this foot called TaylorMade. It's what I wear, and it's got a piece of carbon fiber. Like it looks like a blade. So he
yeah,
puts those on running blades for kids, bro. And it's badass because the kids think they're freaking in a running blade at 2 years old. Their first steps are in a blade. It's just.
wow.
I
Now
was blessed to find them.
with these prosthetics over there, obviously when they're young ages, 5, 6, teenagers, they're going to grow. Do they replace that leg, or is they're adjustable, or how's
Oh
that?
God, no, bro. Listen. So I'm glad you asked that. So like, so I have a bunch of kids that most kids, well, all the kids, every kid comes back at least twice a year. So they usually come summer vacation and Christmas vacation. You know what I mean? They usually
Yeah.
come to every one of them, and that's what people don't understand. You know, they think, oh, we buy this kid one leg. No, hell no, man. And that's why we got to get up to like the 2 million thing, because everybody comes back. It's not like I buy them one leg and I'm like, hey, or I shut them off at 18 years old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, you're 18. Good luck.
So if a kid gets his leg, let's say at 5, or let's say 10 years old, he grows, he gives that leg back. Are you able to
Oh
recycle that
yeah,
leg?
oh yeah, 100%, always, bro. Hell
Okay.
yeah, of course. I mean, unless like the running blades are only good for so long. I mean, they
Yeah.
get so much wear, the carbon fiber ends up splitting. I mean, it just. But I mean, these kids, bro. You got to remember, they're kids, bro. They don't like. I don't know if you remember that story, the little girl Ireland Nugent that got run over by a father, lost both legs, here over in the Tampa area.
Yeah, the lawnmower
Uh,
accident, wasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Figure this out, bro. She's been with me since the bombing. She was the same weekend as the Boston Marathon bombing.
Wow.
And I was in the hospital with her, and I got a call on Monday from one of my buddies that was related to Celeste Corcoran and said, hey, we need 50 legs, and my cousin just lost her legs. I'm like, I'll be there. And that's how I got introduced to the bombing survivors that I've helped over the years. And so like her story, I don't even know. So she's missing both legs. So you got to figure, for the last 11 years, this is 11 years this year, 11 years, she's got 2 legs.
Wow.
Four legs, not two, four. So she's probably like 25 legs from my charity.
That's
24
amazing.
legs.
So
Yeah.
as a veteran, I'm a disabled veteran
Yeah.
myself. Do you help out veterans, or there's a
Yeah,
program
yeah,
there?
dude. I'll send you some videos of that. Yeah, of course we do. And the
Cool.
cool thing is, like I mean, I got so many awesome stories with some vets.
Yeah.
I'll send you I'm doing the Boston Marathon walk, and I got one from my buddy, and he's missing both his legs, and he sent me this video. He goes, bro, you inspired hundreds, thousands, maybe even millions of people. You get to that finish line. I don't care if you got to crawl. You just finish. And you're like, I wanted to walk more. And that was at 16 miles. I'm like, fuck, I think I got 10 more in me. And then every week, every one of my long weeks, every Sunday, I get a good video from one of the
Yeah.
kids. And it really, truly, it makes me realize, suck it up, big boy. I mean, it's only 26 miles. It's one time.
Yeah.
So it's good to see the kids see me doing this, so they get a little bit of inspiration. I hope it inspires some of them,
Of course.
or they just look at me and say, he's a jackass. I'm good either way, bro.
There you go.
So, is there any memorable moments of or stories or experience after while you've been doing this 50 leg non-profit?
I got 2 good ones. I'll tell you real quick.
All right.
So one of my favorite kids I get legs for is this kid Max Gauthier. He's a Marine sniper, and his uncle was at my church, and it was Sunday, obviously. And I used to drive this huge red truck. Now I got a TRX, and now I drive like a big ass. So, anyways, I'm in my big red truck, and his uncle comes up to me, and I didn't know it was his uncle. And he goes, "Hey, man," he goes, "Can I talk to you after church?" I'm like, "Fudge." I cut this guy off, man. He's a nice guy. So he gets after church and he goes, "Hey, you the leg guy?" I'm like, "What do you mean? My leg? Do I like legs? Yeah. Oh, do I buy legs?" He said, "Yeah." He goes, "My son's he got blown up in Afghanistan. He stepped on a mine." I'm like, "Yeah." I go, "Well, what's up?" He's like, "Well, the VA is dragging their feet. They won't return his phone calls. He's using duct tape to keep it together." And the sad thing is, if you got to beg the VA for a leg, that shit drives me crazy, man. Why are
Yeah.
they begging? They went over there at 18 years old, him and his twin brother. His brother got shot in the face. He's got a big scar. He's a cop local. And Max stepped on a landmine and lost his leg. And these guys got to fight to get a friggin' leg. That shit drove me nuts. So that's Sunday. Literally, I said to him, I go, "Listen, pick me up in the morning at my house. We'll drive together." He's like, "All right." So they literally picked me up at 6 in the morning. I had him at the prosthetic company getting fitted by 8:30. And he had a new leg that week. He had a $130,000 X3 microprocessor knee donated to Stan. And it literally had that kid walking in 4 days.
Wow. That's
But that's
amazing.
what this prosthetic company does, man. Everything's in
Yeah.
house. They make the custom liners made for your leg. Like I had this guy argue with me forever. He's like, my leg's all custom too. I'm like, let me see a liner. He goes like this. He goes, yeah, you see how they trim it? I go, yeah, they cut it with scissors, bro. That's not a custom leg. Want to see a custom leg? There's like people are just stupid. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah.
there's a big difference between a liner off the shelf, because if they look at me, they're gonna be like, oh, your leg's an extra large. You give me this thing and it holds air in it. My liner is made like when you break your arm, it's casted and molded like
Yeah.
that. And then they make it. It's 3D printed. It makes this thing and it gets poured and it's dipped and it fits your leg, because nobody's legs are the same. I
No.
mean, my leg got ripped off on a motorcycle, so my leg I lucked out. Mine was good, but I see people that got blown up like in all our vets.
Mm.
Their legs are like missing chunks over here. There's a bump over here. You know what I mean? It's so nobody's are the same, so you
And you
can't
got to
get
be
them off. It's
comfortable.
really got and it's so comfortable, bro.
Yeah.
It's like it really is. I don't know how to explain it unless you're an amputee. It's like, but put a size, whatever size sneak you are, put a 3 sizes small, walk around in that, and then put the regular size on and see what the difference is. That's the
Yeah.
difference.
So,
Awesome, man. So you played semi-pro football. So all that football experience and stuff, did it help you deal with the challenges that you face now or face when you lost your leg? And did that all that stuff did that help out in the way?
You know, I think it's more it's your mind. I mean, now that I've had the charity for so long, and I've lost probably 9 of the people that I got legs for. I had a couple vets, take their lives, and I had one of the other guys I was good friends with from Lowell. He took his life, and then a couple kids with cancer. You know what I mean? So like it's I just post the good stuff because I don't want the sad stuff on there. You know what I mean? Everybody's going through their own stuff, and I think the world's crazy enough to nobody needs any more bad stuff in it. But I mean, it's like, bro, I wake up nights stressing out, like, because I got my own business. I stress out about raising money for the charity, all the events I got to go to. If I don't raise enough money, I let all these kids down. So it's like, you got to think that way. I always do. Now that we're getting some corporate sponsors finally after 14, 13 years, people see what we do, and they
yeah.
see the difference. It's not like I don't make this shit up. I mean, look at the stats. Go on GuideStar. Look at people's before you give money to anybody, even my charity. Bro, look it up. I mean,
Yeah.
when you see a charity giving away 30, 50%, they call a good charity. I'm like, I call that a piece of shit charity. That's what I call it. I mean, you know what I mean? Like all these pro athletes and stuff, they start these charities and they got 30 of their family members working, and they just raise so much money because they're pro athletes. I
Yeah.
did this from scratch being nobody, you know what I mean? So like to raise $1 million, it makes me proud of all the people that work for the charity. It ain't me, bro. Trust me. I have like, you know what I mean? I got 3 girls that are the most amazing woman in the world, and so many volunteers, and one of the kids I get legs for, he lost a leg in a motorcycle. That's my she love. I love her. I love her. That's little Jules. She left me a message too. It's crazy. You show these videos, and I know every single kid's story, and I know how they lost
Yeah.
their legs.
And that you're like their hero in their
Yeah,
eyes, you know.
yeah. They all
So
call me Uncle Steve. All of them. They all
yes.
call me Uncle Steve.
No, I love what you're doing. You're right about the veterans. That's what I'm considered PTSD, depression, and 22 veterans a day take their own lives. So that's a very it's
Isn't that
something to bring
up
awareness.
now? Isn't it more than that, bro?
Yeah, that's what they say, but they always say 22. But there's a lot more. There's a lot more
Yeah,
now, and it's a struggle. I know firsthand how it is. It's definitely
yeah,
a struggle. But you're there for not only you can only do so much. You
yeah.
can be
No, for
there. You
sure.
can be there listening. You can be there areas, but
But I
that's
like
good.
how I was saying but that was like so. Anyway, let me just tell you the Mac story. So
Yeah.
he's this Marine sniper, right? So him and his twin brother up there getting his legs. So he gets his legs. I get his legs, and he goes, "I want a running blade." So we get him a freaking running blade that day. Put a running blade on him, and so he tripped. I go, shit, I missed it, right? And he goes, you'll never catch me falling. So I'm like videotaping. And then I videotape him and his brother jogging for the first time together. And he hit the blade and fell on his ass. And all you do is hear me go, yes! Like all excited this dude fell on his ass.
There you
So
go.
that's one of my favorite stories. And like I love when the kids fall because I just think it's funny. Uh, it is. It just makes me laugh. And it's just funny how all these amazing, and when you see these kids take their first, I don't have any kids, bro, and I can tell you right now, out of all the kids I get legs for, I'm able to see their first steps ever with a prosthetic, and I've seen kids first steps ever in the world with a prosthetic. So like when you see that shit, bro, you realize what you're doing is right. You know what I mean? And
Hundred
and
percent.
and the family don't have to worry about the money.
Got a message, homie.
We
Oh,
pay for the flights and hotels. You know what I mean? So it's. I mean, the shit's cool, man. It really is. And being blessed enough, like we were talking, like having Hogan and I literally, it's crazy because Drew McIntyre, like I was real close with Drew and Sheamus
yeah.
and those guys, and I actually text Drew the other day and I said, hey, I'm having an event at Hogan's. Can you send me some stuff? He goes, yeah, of course. So I called him the next day. I go, hey, don't forget. He goes, oh, fella. And then all of a sudden, the next day comes, he's like, because they had that storm out of nowhere. His wife and him were stuck in a cab. Well, he was traveling in a little piece of shit car, talking to me when it snowed. I was like, man, I hope I make it out of here. He's like, I'll send you that stuff. And he missed the thing, but he sent me a bunch of stuff. And, just to see those guys do stuff like that still for me, it's nice.
And you have I know you're friends with a lot of musicians, music stars too. Do they ever help you out with charity concerts or anything like that?
You know what, man? It's me, bro. I don't like to
Yeah.
bug or ask for
Yeah.
nothing. So like, when Brett Michaels did the concert, it was one of my friends that was good friends with him.
Yeah.
One of the kids I get legs for, Steve Vaca, was his uncle John, that paid for everything for us, like, and Brett. And then after the show, like his contract's so weird, bro. It's like, I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want to meet anybody, I don't
Yeah.
want to do this. But he's seen all the kids. He had all the kids on stage. He had 50 kids on stage with him
Wow.
in the back watching him. And then before the thing, he loved Hogan, so I called Hogan, and Hogan and called him out. Him and what the heck's the military guy with one leg that did Dance with the Stars? He
I
was
know who
there
you are, but
too.
I forgot his name. I saw him. I watched Dance with the Stars. It was my
Yes, but
guilty
he was there
pleasure.
with us, and he's such a good dude, man.
Yeah.
He's awesome. Yeah. But anyways, but that's, I mean, like the charity is doing well. I mean, it's all charity events. Like Toomey Tools hooks us up there. All the
Yeah.
events. Next weekend's the arm wrestling gig or something.
Yes.
Right? Yeah,
Yep.
he's giving money to me for that. And then your gig, he does that, and just he's it's little things like I went to a kava bar. You know what that is?
No.
A
Bro.
kava and kratom or whatever they call that stuff. That drinks, those
Okay,
drinks.
yes.
So I went to one last Saturday night. It's freezing. I'm sitting outside the whole time. Me and my buddy Dustin, that helps the charity that lost his leg, he's with me. And they tell me to bring my trailer. It's downtown St. Pete on Central Ave. There's no room for a trailer. There's no room for my truck. There's no room for anything. So I parked it in the back alley. I got a ticket within 3 minutes. And then, so anyways, it's the little things like that. You don't know how much you're gonna. It's this place is called Grassroots. Beautiful, best coffee ever I've ever
Yeah.
had. And they literally raised 6 grand for 3 hours.
Wow.
It's little things like that, bro. I look at money as legs. So that
Yeah.
buys a kid a running blade and a walking blade and gets his family here. You know what I
Beautiful.
mean? So that's
And
what I
hopefully,
tell
once we
people.
get this on air, and then I'll post it on my page as well. We'll edit
Yeah,
it, post it up, and we'll share it. And we'll gather your information also where we can contact you.
yeah.
Be
You
sure to
got
give
my
that
cell
to us.
phone and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we'll add all that information on. Anything we can do on our end to just spread awareness, because you're basically you're just an angel walking on earth for helping so
that's
many people,
bro.
man.
Listen. I tell people all the time, man. I'm just in
Yeah.
God's hands.
Yeah.
I'm just a passenger. God's driving. It's
There we
when you're
go.
able when you're able to do so much as I do. It isn't me, bro. You think about it. There's no way
Yeah.
I'm going to raise $1 million. It's somebody out there. It's higher than we could ever think of. I think that's just my
Yeah.
belief because every time we get low on funds, boom, somebody blesses us.
Yeah.
It just happens all the time. Like I'm doing the Boston Marathon. I'm walking it. I'm already raised over $80,000
There you go, man.
in
That's
2 months,
amazing.
and I
So
still have 2 more months.
how can individuals support and get involved with the 50 Legs charity?
Just it's all 50 legs. The number 50 leg 50legs.org. And you can see the runners. And if you want to help donate to the marathon, you can. Um, yeah, it's gonna be sick, dude. It really is. It's gonna be awesome. And then Link. I always tell people, man, I know somebody out there knows somebody that needs us because
Yeah.
I see the way people walk. They're below the knee and they're limping and they're in a pin system. Those are just the cheap, easy way out prosthetics.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's no thought process. Oh, I'm gonna put a liner and a pin in you, and all they gotta do is cover the outside and cast you. It's the stupid, easiest. They shouldn't even teach that system anymore. Be honest with you. Put them
Yeah.
in a real leg. You know, it's just crazy. Unless the people need it because of their skin, but if they don't, then and you're below the knee amputee in a pin system, your prosthetist sucks.
Yeah.
So is there a selection process, and like is there a certain criteria people have to have to get help from the 50 Legs organization, or?
Well, when we started, it was kids and vets, and obviously that's out the window now. I mean, I helped a 90 90. He was 94 when I helped him, a World War II veteran who passed at 100.
Yeah.
But his last years, he was walking because of us, and that was the coolest thing in the world. And another guy that Vietnam vet, I met him one night. I go, bro, that's a shitty leg, and he was kind of cuckoo. And he didn't like me calling him out on his leg. So I thought he was going to pull his gun on me. And anyways, him and I became close friends. And um, yeah, I mean, it's crazy how what those guys go through, and to see them in such shitty legs, and and the crazy part of it, if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
Meaning like I see so many, these prosthetic companies run beside these beds and just they'll go in there and they're like, oh, well, we'll do this for you. I got to put you on a shrinker. You know what I mean? They want to be touching your leg when you got stitches in it. Anybody who puts a shrinker on your leg when it's got stitches in it is an idiot. Think about it. You got
Yeah.
stitches and you want to squeeze it. Does that make sense? And then the hospitals, they shouldn't even be allowed to push these people into doing that. You know what I mean? It's crazy, bro. Like it drives me crazy. And then like there's companies locally over here that like I'm hated in the prosthetic world. I'm like the I don't even know who I'm like, but whoever the most hated person would be, that's him. Because they don't like me in the prosthetic world because I call them out. I call their bullshit. I call them, why are you putting this? And then you go to these nursing homes and they got these 70, 80-year-old woman without a microprocessor knee and they're in a mechanical knee. There's no way they can hold themselves up. So when they fall, they're going to fall.
Yeah.
And then you go to these nursing homes, and I've been there a million times. Though I get these legs from families that they think they're good, and they donate them to us, and I take them, but I put them in the water. We can lock them up and put them for the water legs for these people. I wouldn't put them on anybody, and they're charging 40 grand. It's ridiculous, dude. It's like any
It's,
person with no knee needs a microprocessor, especially the older you are.
and
The
that
young
just
kids
shows
don't.
that most people, and unfortunately, I'll say it. Some people are just in it for that dollar amount, but you're in
Bro,
it to you're in it
bro.
for the love and make sure that they're taken care of.
Bro, you hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Like if you listen, we all want money.
Yeah.
Everybody wants money. But you know what I tell people all the time? Like Stan's got a bunch of cars. He's got no kids. He's got a beautiful wife. They both work. And I tell people all the time, like when you ask Stan, the guy that owns the POA, the prosthetic company, I say, Stan, you work hard. He goes, what? He goes, this isn't work. They work 6 days a week, bro. They go in on Sundays and they cast everybody for their liners for Monday morning. So Monday morning they get them ready by 10:30, 11, and then they're putting check sockets in everybody after the liner fits perfect, or they re-pour the liner and it takes 2 hours, or they put them in a check socket and they're standing up by the afternoon on a first day. Nobody
Wow.
believes me. I'm like, bro, whatever. I'm just telling you, like, I've been like, I love when people tell me no, and then they go up there, they're like, oh my God, this is the best fit. I'm like, yeah, well, I told you again, over 200 people, over 800 people, bro, no complaints.
Yeah.
Um,
So, I mean, you've faced adversity. Nick, he's deals with PTSD, et cetera, et cetera. Can you give some advice to people that are facing adversity or facing a need for a leg or anything that you've been through that you can give them hope for the future?
Bro, I always tell people you gotta have faith first, and then you gotta realize there's somebody out there that can help you. And don't be afraid. A lot of people are afraid to talk. Like I know how the vets are, Nick, you know, bro.
Yeah.
Like our vets are just so tough and don't want to, they shouldn't, nor should they have to beg. Like my Marine guy, he gave up on the system because he just used duct tape.
20
You know,
years. I just now got service connected, and it took me 20 years.
yeah, it's so stupid,
So,
bro. It's just stupid.
yeah.
But anyways, you gotta have faith and keep pushing. And like, listen, it sounds so cliche, but everything happens for a reason. Um, you're gonna have good day, dude. I still have bad days. You know how many times I wanted to put a bullet in my head? Trust me, bro. I promise you. No, nothing's easy. I don't give a shit what anybody says. I mean, life is up, down, happy, I'm broke. I got a ton of money this week. I'm broke next week. You know what I mean? We all
Mhm.
have good days and bad days, but it's what you do with your life and how you present it. And just, I mean, bro, I just have too many people not to let down to do anything stupid or anything, So I'm just trying to do what I can do, the best I can be, and be who I want to be me, and just sit here in the passenger seat, like God drive.
There you go, man.
What
You
keeps you
doing?
motivated, man? What keeps you motivated to do this?
Bro? Because you got to see it, man. Watch a video. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Go on YouTube and look at just the fight song. Just Google the fight song 50 legs, and let me tell you, like, if that don't do anything, like, I literally, the woman that made that works at POA, and she sent me that for the Boston Gala, and I'm sitting at Home Depot, and she sends me that. I text her, you mother. I'm sitting there crying like a baby at Home Depot, bro. Like I was like, because like I've helped so many people. Not that I forget, but you forget what you did for these people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I don't. Like when we helped some of the Boston survivors, everybody would have posted that on their page. I didn't. I put some of the stuff like pictures and videos of them walking for the first time, but people abuse the same thing. It's like my charity. We don't ask anybody for money over and over again. If you want to give, give. If you don't. Like I'm not gonna come to you every year because you gave me $1 million. Like it's like that's what happens. Like I was talking to somebody and they said, "Oh, we give to the Wounded Warrior Project." I go, "That's whatever." I mean, you know what the percentage is now? And the guy was like, "Well, he goes, why stop sending?" Or another guy says, "I stopped sending to all these big charities." I go, "Why?" He goes, "They're sending advertisement. They're spending more money on advertisement.
Yeah.
Like if I spent that money on advertisement, and if you didn't make the money, you just threw away how many legs for kids."
Exactly.
Sure.
So why
Sure.
would I? Why I don't want to advertise? Like I'll do social media. I'll keep raising 1 million, hopefully 2 million this year, and then fuck, I'll be able to help more people. That's my motto. Like money's legs, brother.
It's
Yeah.
called the fight song. You said.
Yeah, Google that, bro. It's a fight song on YouTube. It's badass.
Okay.
It's real good. It'll if that doesn't get, it's only like 2 minutes to it. If that doesn't get you, don't ever call me again because you're an asshole.
Hey, bro. Like I said, I don't have millions of followers. Our social media is pretty good, pretty decent, but I'll definitely start pushing your ads. I'll start pushing you more on a weekly basis on our channel alone. And
Awesome.
hopefully maybe that will touch somebody, you
Yeah, I
know?
mean, listen, if we can, if somebody sees this and they say, "Holy shit, my leg feels like shit," or I walk
Yeah.
like an idiot," or well, this doesn't feel good. I mean, and then like any prostitutes out there that says, I mean, they said it to me before when I went to Hanger up in Atlanta. What was it? Up near the US the Gators. What was that? Where they
Gainesville?
play? No,
Gainesville.
it's not Gainesville. I'm in
Yeah.
Gainesville. And I go to this process. And this lady says to me, "You got to get used to the pain." Bro, that's when I was taking some juice. Wasn't gonna listen to that bullshit. I snapped. I said, "Why don't you chop your friggin' leg off and you tell me to get used to the pain?" I lost my shit. I was like, one of those rage moments.
How close to Orlando do you live?
I go there at least once a week to see the kids and whoever I got there. It's 2 hours away from me from Tampa. I'm over in Clearwater.
I'll be in Orlando February 19th through the 26th. I know
Oh,
Nick.
you gotta come to the prosthetic company, bro.
Is that in our
Orlando, yeah, it's right near Disney. It's 20 minutes from Disney.
all right? Are you there?
I'll go up there. Yeah, I'll definitely go up there.
All right, man. I have to get a hold of Nick, and because I know there's gonna be
Yeah.
one day that I'm going. I hope my wife doesn't watch this, but We're going to Disney. She loves Disney. We're gonna go
Nice.
to Disney for 2 days. I can't stand a lot of people, but
Yeah,
I'll go.
good
So
luck there.
if I can get 2 days at Disney, I should be able to get 1 day of the
Yeah,
huge
all you
pop
need is a
wrestling.
couple hours, bro, to change your
Yeah.
life. I tell people all the time, you come to the prosthetic company and you see all these people running around with one leg, no legs,
Right.
and if you don't get inspired, then I don't know.
Yeah, I think
I was rooting for Buffalo to win this year because Gabe Davis goes to the prosthetic company. His trainer that helps him train when he gets hurt was there, and he actually sponsored. He gave the charity 15 grand to help a little kid from Buffalo that lost both legs.
Awesome, man.
So I'm a huge fan of that guy. I hope he stays somewhere close and keeps going to Orlando.
Right.
I didn't know you were in Orlando. You're not even 30 minutes from me. So now that I know that you're up here, hit me up one day. I'd love to come out and
Oh,
work
bro, to
with you.
change your life. Oh yeah, you're right up there in Ocala. That's
Yeah,
right.
I'm in Lake County where I stay.
Oh
So
really?
I'm closer.
Yeah, bro. I'm up there once a week. I'd love for you guys to see the prosthetic place.
Yeah, hit me up next time you're in this area. Give me a call, and what week you're gonna be up here, I'd see about coming up there and visiting you for sure.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, bro. You're gonna love it, dude. It's awesome.
I'll let you know when I get down to Orlando between the 19th and 26th, man. And
Yeah, for sure. You guys will. I mean, it'll change your life. You'll definitely. It'll like you see people. And I tell people all the time, like when you think you're having a bad day, and and then you go to the prosthetic company and you see these kids or women or missing both hands, both legs, but walking.
yeah,
Your whole life goes, holy shit! I'm bitching about being 30 pounds overweight. What the hell? I got it easy. You know what I mean? It's just crazy. Your life changes for sure.
absolutely.
And then everybody there is family. Like all the people that work at the prosthetic company. The owner is the lady that runs it, Stephanie. Bro, you can't even meet a better fan, and they're all Christian, good Christian, good people.
That's good.
So the guy behind scene, Cody, he's a Buffalo Bills fan. So he said,
Good man.
Says go Buffalo. So hey,
Yeah, dude, I'm cool with that. Listen. I wanted them to win. I was hoping.
I'm a Detroit Lions fan, so they got screwed by the Cowboys.
Yeah, they got. I was, bro. Listen, I hang around a guy from Flint, Michigan, so he had me, and then I go, bro, you want like the college? He was all excited about the college, and I was too. Like anybody that beats Alabama, I'm cool.
Thank you. Hell yeah.
Hey, Boston College even won a bowl game, and they were like, "Hey, how about these bowl games for real though? You can be 6-10 and be in a bowl game like that. There's like what happened to winning?
It's a participation trophy.
Yeah, it's like my kid sucks. Can't hit a ball, but he got a trophy for being the best player. Oh God!
Wow, Mr. Steve, I'm from 50 Legs. It's been a huge opportunity to meet you. I can't wait. I hope to meet you in person.
Hell yeah!
I'd love to do that. Thanks, Nick, for setting this up. There's Nick and Knockout Entertainment, Huge Pop Wrestling, and Nick and Entertainment has been amazing, and I can see 2024 is gonna be huge for Knockout Entertainment and Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. And again, sir, I'd love to meet you. Hopefully, you're in the area when I'm down there.
Man.
Great story. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for the people that are part of your organization. I think it's amazing. It's been a joy. So I'm going to say to you, this last thing, is there anything you would like to share with the viewers? And then we'll just hit some music and don't go anywhere. I want to say hi to you in the green rooms.
Yeah. No, man, I'm just going to tell you, treat people the way you want to be treated.
Yeah.
You see somebody different, don't make fun of them. Like the world's crazy enough. You know what I mean? Like you got a kid missing a leg, don't make fun of him, man. Be the man, be the better man and help him out. Missing a hand, help him pick something up. You know what I mean? It's so easy to be good. It takes a lot of work to be an asshole. Trust me, I used to be an asshole, so I know the difference. But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys. God bless, man.
Thank you, sir.
Always a pleasure, man. Thank you.
It's always been a pleasure. So I appreciate you, and thank you for joining Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. And again, keep subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to the Facebook page. Keep on the Outlook. We go Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, sometimes Friday. But I appreciate you guys, and Huge Pop is out.
All my dogs, make some noise up in this house.
is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know what's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the grind. Cause when your body hits the canvas, then your ass is knocked out. Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know what's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the grind. Cause when your body hits the canvas, then your ass is knocked out. Fight with Adrian Whisper is like a fight with the devil, because when he's dealing with you, you cannot get on this level. Fight with Adrian Whisper is like a fight with a king. It's like a fight with an army. They got the tanks and everything. He's leaving bruises and stitches, possibly leaving you crippled. Cause when he sets up the table and sends you straight through the middle. 6 sadistic free, beat that ass with a light bulb. Leave a piece of glass embedded in the back of your skull. Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know what's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the ground. Cause when your body hits the canvas, then your ass is knocked out. Who is in the house? Who is in the house? It's the gangster of destruction, so you know what's going down. And when the drive-by's coming, then you better hit the ground. Cause when your body hits the canvas, then your ass is knocked out.
Thank you, guys. Well, we're